Hello, my name's Paul White and I'm the Head of School of Education here at New South Wales. I've been with ACU now for 24 years. In fact, I was with the College of Advanced Education before it was a university at Castle Hill. So I've been working here now for a long time and I love working here. It's a wonderful place to work, and we have a wonderful staff who are dynamic and really forging ahead in research. But in our teaching we offer courses in Indigenous education, primary education, secondary education, early childhood. We have a very big focus on early childhood and one of the key players in the country in that area. But we also offer a course in inclusive education and disability studies. One of the great things about working at ACU is that we are one of the fastest growing universities in the country, and we actually are the biggest provider of teachers in the country. It makes us proud to be here, and it makes us attract good new staff. Currently we are building a special literacy hub. We are employing new people of senior academic standards from England and all over Australia to come here, so we'll be able to provide special training in literacy for all our students. The other special thing about ACU is we are the only national university in the country. That means that even though we are big in a whole sense, we have lots of smaller campuses. This campus here at Strathfield, where we're based, for example, has about 4,000 students on it overall. It's a personal place.
Ended up at a university where I'm not so much a number, but rather I'm treated as a student.
ACU has a caring and nurturing environment. They've got a great diversity of interests, a really good focus on social justice, the great ability to capture what interests people, to make them passionate about learning.
I might take 3 lessons to teach it to like Year 6 class, but we'll go through it in an hour. But we go through, this is what you do in a warm-up, this is what you do in a development, this is what you do in a closure. And we do that, and like in maths, we do the activities that you can do. So you're constantly getting ideas of how you can teach in the classroom.
Be ready for you know, a lot of work. Remember your end goal. Remember the fact that you want to get there in 4 years' time, and you want to be teaching, and this is what you love. If that's what you love, I know that in the end I'm going to be happy doing this for the rest of my life.
When I was looking at ACU, there was 2 choices for me. There was Bachelor of Education Primary, and then the new course which I'm doing, Bachelor of Education Early Childhood and Primary. The one which I'm doing, the Early Childhood and Primary one, it's almost as if it's a double degree, because in the end, after the 4 years, I'm qualified to teach children from 0 right through to 12.
It's been really good, the experience in the field and going to schools. I think at first I found it a bit hard, and that sort of gave me more drive and encouragement to keep on going with my study. I found it hard for the first few weeks, but that sort of seeing the little kids and seeing how valuable teaching is to those little kids helped with that.
The students here are quite different from other students I've taught, and that is that they're very far more interested in other things outside of just getting through the assessments. They want to actually learn about the topic.
One of the things that we find with students is that their assumptions about art are that they have to be naturally talented or in some way divinely inspired, and their perception of what artists do is aligned with how to make masterpieces. We're not in the business of teaching anyone to make a masterpiece, but we are in the business of modelling some practices for teachers that are derived from the art-making practices of artists.
It's about harnessing the interest that we know our students have in technology, and obviously we witness that every day through their use of mobile phones, iPods, laptops, etc. And it's about taking those technologies and bringing them into the classroom to really transform the environment into a more dynamic, connected learning environment. And secondly to that, it's about equipping our students with the skills, knowledge and confidence to ensure that they can embrace the rapid technological changes that they'll be a part of, so that they can become or continue to be good teachers well into the 21st century.
In drama, they were dressing up, they were using resources, they were using storytelling activities, role play activities, improvisation activities, not just talking about it but doing it and then reflecting on their experience. Well, I actually found the puppet part of it very liberating, and they took on other personas. Once they got behind a table and they couldn't be seen, they became characters that they hadn't felt able to be before. And they reflected on how nervous they were in answering questions in class, but could take on voices and actions through the puppet.
I do feel like I'm set up well. They give us lesson plan templates and they tell you everything you need to have in a lesson, and you never go in there. I mean, I admit that last year I went in and I was overwhelmed by being in the classroom, but I don't think it's because ACU didn't prepare me. I think it was just, wow, here I am and I'm going to be conductor of all of this, and it's a lot to remember.
I think one of the greatest things about your prac is because you're really involved in it and you're out there and doing things. I remember I was only my first semester and I had one of the small girls in my class, and people assumed that she couldn't speak and she didn't like to eat, and it was, if I hadn't have been in these classes, I would have been the same person and said, she doesn't want to eat, she doesn't want to speak. And it was only because I'd learnt different things we can do that I sat with her. And I remember one day I was singing a song to the other kids, and all of a sudden she sat next to me and she sang a song with me, and that was the day that I went, no one would have picked this up unless there were people like us who were willing to learn how to do that. And that's when I knew that we're doing a great thing. We really are.
It's a very supportive environment. It's a nice small campus, so you do know everyone around, and it's just great.
You go to uni, you study all these theories and go to lecture, and then you hear the uni students say, well, it didn't really apply when I went in the workforce. I forgot it, I don't use it. Well, with the inclusive education, you do use it and you do refer to it. And it's that course that, whether you like to admit it or not, you're doing something in the disability field or in your work, and automatically your mind starts thinking, oh, I did that in such and such a course. So it's got that subconscious reactor in your brain that you think, oh yes, I remember that, I did that in planning and learning or understanding behaviour or something like that.
I mean, it's fun working with kids, and you feel a sense of having a big impact in shaping the future of children.
If someone asked me about going to ACU,
I'd say go for it. Oh, I'd say go for it. It's a good university.
I'll drag them to the uni and get them on a hands-on experience.
It's tough and you have to put in a lot of work.
it's somewhere where you can get personal education.
If you have a passion for teaching, if you love kids or if you want to pass on knowledge, then definitely give it a go, because we need more teachers, and the degree is really fun and it's going to give you something that will allow you to have a career afterwards.